You did mention DX turning 25 before.
Yep.
And this was on last night's Raw. Well, not this week's Raw. You guys will be watching it a week after. But it did appear on Raw. And when you get asked to do these things, before we cover the event, I just want to ask how this works, like for Sean and everybody who was on there. You get brought out, you know right away it's going to be a one-shot deal or whatever they want, 2 shots or whatever it's going to be. It's a one-shot deal. Are you guys still given? Because you guys worked at a time where you could come up with your own shit, like when you guys got together and Sean would go off and stuff, and you got to come up with your own shit. Now, when you guys come out now, are you given stuff to say? Do they tell you to write it and just like let us see it? How does it work?
Oh, it's run. It's run by them.
So for you guys, it's the same as the rest of the guys on the roster that night? Everyone's playing by the same rules?
Those guys showed up at probably 2:00 in the afternoon and says, you know what we really need is 4 rubber chickens we can refer to as cocks. Okay, let's go out and get them.
But you're not coming up with your own dialogue, I'm saying.
No, you're not coming up with anything.
You just come out but you guys had great.
You're walking out there with an Apple phone in your pocket and you're just one of the minions.
Right. One of the 65%. But you get no kind of props for being good at improv and working at a time where you guys came up with your own shit. No, huh?
No, vaudeville's dead.
Yeah. Right. Unbelievable. So that first segment, you referenced the rubber chickens. I liked that. Okay, so I go on. I go, okay, they're gonna do okay here.
Oh, I thought they were gonna do several spots throughout the show.
Right, but the way they were treating Triple H too, I thought was great. He had definitely was doing the call out to McMahon there. He had the glasses down on his nose.
Yeah, no, even
at the monitor.
I thought they would beat him down to submission.
Right, through the whole show, and then finally.
But then when he cursed right before they broke out of that first segment, I thought, nah, it's like he's he ain't got time to mess with this shit. He doesn't. I mean, it was like a shoot. Like, I ain't got time to mess with this shit.
Because he had to run the show.
Yeah, it was just like it was good. It was you know, nobody's gonna do anything. There's gonna be no physicality. Everybody's beat to shit.
No, not that. I
know. I know. So it's just like absolutely less is more in that situation.
Right. But now, do they shoot the segments throughout the day? Those aren't live, right? Those are shot like throughout the day, and they just air them in not the in-ring stuff, obviously, but the backstage stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that just depends. I mean, with Paul, I know that was probably shot at 3:00. With Vince, that would have been shot live because it would have been changed 63 times before they got to it.
Vince,
excuse me.
Vince Vince was always in Gorilla on the headset, right, talking to the announcers. Is Paul doing that now?
I would think that Paul would because Paul wants to make sure. I mean, commentating, is one of the things that allows you to create and then push your vision. So Paul may know where the story's going, and not necessarily the commentators. Or Paul may see something that transpires in that segment that needs to be addressed because he's going to go somewhere with it. But he's not going to sit there and tell them, play by play what they need to say, like Vince was doing, which was making people insane.
So he would talk like through the whole match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. From what I've heard, I have not. I didn't put a headset on and do any color commentating, and I also don't have an Apple phone.
Right. So,
because I know that I have a feeling like they're both a bad buzz.
So,
but I'm on an Apple right now. This computer's an Apple.
Good. That's good. The resolution's beautiful. It brings out the artwork. Brings out it brings out the artwork and the blue in your eyes. So
Green.
I have
Green's rare. I
have
green eyes.
I'm hazel. I'm green as well. So so I'm having Vince in my ear saying what to say through the now both Vince talking to both people on the mic.
Yeah, everybody. He's screaming at everybody.
And screaming, huh? Screaming, Vince. What could be fucking worse as you're sitting there? You have a match right in front of your face that you're trying to call. And listen, if you've been put on commentary, they obviously you've proven your worth to the team at some point.
Yeah,
that you can call a match. And then you got that maniac screaming in your ear. I don't know how anybody. I got to talk to Lawler. Can we get Lawler on here?
I mean, Mick Foley has went over this 1,000 times.
Maybe when he's doing a live podcast, we'll go on stage and ask him about that. How about that? Maybe he can let us know what that's like. So even Mick would get.
Oh, yeah, to the point where
a star.
To the point where Mick was visibly upset about it.
Wow.
I mean, to the point where he didn't let it sit. He was just like, "No, man." Like, he said, "The People's Event Society says, I can't. This ain't working for me."
Wow. Getting word here that it's one of the reasons that Foley quit. Stormed backstage, got in Vince's face, and said, "Never again." Stuck a sock in his mouth. Well, all right. Yeah. I'm going to have to get with Mick about that. It's just an interesting dynamic to be told what to say the whole time, and then the fever pitch nature of the out of control McMahon. So, but knowing Paul, even though you're not on a headset right now, but knowing Paul, I'm being told Foley brings this up on every podcast. Clearly, I listen. Knowing Paul, he's not a screamer, right? I
No.
don't imagine him being as.
No, he's not. No, that's just so not Paul. I mean, if you fucked up to the degree where he was going to yell at you, I'm quite sure he would make a mental note, or actually make a note to himself, and then bring it up after the show was over to that person one-on-one, to not browbeat them in front of his cohorts, because that's just, I mean, one of the things that I've talked to several people, I have correspondence. I still do. My mustache all fucked up tonight.
Manscape it.
Actually, I put the ball deodorant on my mustache.
Got it backwards, bro.
Got fucked up. But
put the Aqua Velva on your sack and put the ball deodorant on your lip. It'll be a rough day. Go ahead. You get called back.
Yeah, I talk to a lot of people, on the telephone, and I always ask them, like, how are things different? And it's like they can't wait. They're like, oh my God.
That they're excited.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, things are so different. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's more of a, not even more of, there's an actual team kind of feel to it. I think that's what's missing from AEW right now. I don't think that there's not a team there.
Right. Well, listen, we know he's got the money. He's told us that many times. He could bring in and build whatever team he wants. He's electing not to do this. So, Tony Khan, I'm referencing, obviously.
Excuse me.
So, all right. So, getting to the broadcast, getting to the Raw broadcast, were they used well? You think, Sean and Road Dogg and Sean? Do you think they?
Where are they going to go with it? It was a reunion. I mean, it's if they had been the Carpenters, they would have sang a song, and that'd have been it. Maybe 2.
I don't know. I just thought it was promising in the beginning that they could have done that bit a little bit, like trying to get Paul to crack and come back to the team. Come out with us. Come with the boys. Come with the boys. And just seeing the evolution of how they got him to do that. Use some creative little like
I think that
callbacks from the past to try and entice him, and
Paul should be in the Hall of Fame on his own. Triple H should be in the Hall of Fame. He never will be, because he'll never put himself in there. And so the DX situation for him was okay. They had to get China in. They had to get, Paul needed to be in, and so
they did mention China.
Yeah, no, and it was that was a guy I really like. When DX started, it was like they took what the NWO was, and of course, the production value alone, just on the break it down, it's just everything was just so
steering back to the
so
DX's 25th. Was it obvious to everyone, and just not me, why Billy Gunn wasn't there? Just not me, why Billy Gunn wasn't there?
Besides the fact that he works for AEW?
Oh, what is he doing?
He's got the #1 selling T-shirt on wrestling. He's
on
scissor me ass daddy T-shirt.
Oh, the scissor me ass daddy T-shirt, the Acclaimed, right?
He also is he's one of their they've got some place where they train the guys, and he's like one of their trainers.
Okay, head trainer, got it.
He's head trainer. Okay, yeah, head trainer. Yeah,
the scissor reference. Yeah, got it. So so DX of the factions, right? Because NWO, DX, it's going on at the same time. You're friends with all these guys. Scott was friends with all these guys on the other channel, the other federation. At the time, are you talking off television about what's going on respectively? Like, did you still have a relation? Uh-huh.
No, because if we did, we would have walked out in Norfolk and said, "What's up?"
Oh, with the thing, right?
No,
but you wouldn't commiserate. You wouldn't get on the phone and call Sean and be like, "Oh, it's just fucked."
No, we were running too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
me and Scott made every house show. It was like Scott and I worked, Kid too. The three of us worked.
Yeah.
I remember when we asked Booker T to join the NWO, he said, "Fuck no, man. You guys work too much."
That's great.
Booker probably knocked 4 or 5 strokes off his game that summer.
So Triple H reached out, apparently tried to get Billy Gunn to appear. Didn't happen.
No.